There are two $500 bills on this kitchen table, and they are identical. Same year, same mint, same table, same man sitting in front of them. By 10 tonight, he spins one of them without a second thought. The other he will not touch. Tonight he builds 3 walls in this kitchen. By the end of this, you will know which of those 3 walls is the expensive one. It is not the one with the biggest number. Almost everybody guesses wrong. Nothing about the 2 bills is different. Something about the man is. In about 90 seconds, the first number, 7:05 on a Tuesday. His name is Ray. He is 41. A dented green thermos, he is carried to the same job for 9 years. Nothing about Ray is dramatic. He is careful. He reads the small print. Dinner is done. The plate is in the sink. The house is quiet. In the next 3 hours, he makes 3 completely ordinary money decisions. Together, they cost him $1,705 this year. Not one of them felt wrong. That is what one evening costs once. This evening is not a one-off. Watch the first one. It happens at 7-Eleven, and it looks like discipline. 7-Eleven. Ray opens his banking app. 2 numbers sit on one screen. Savings, labeled June, for $1,800. Credit card balance, for $1,800. Same screen, same night. He scrolls past both. He has scrolled past both for 11 months. Those numbers are a centimeter apart on glass, and in his head, in different buildings. That distance is not real. Nothing at all holds those 2 numbers apart. Nothing except a wall Ray built himself, out of nothing, and cannot see. That is wall 1, and it is the cheapest of the 3. Before I price it, I owe you a list of what this evening hands you. For things, in order, and then one question that stays open until the end. The exact annual price of wall 1, worked out loud, to the dollar. The 1979 study behind wall 2, and one number from it, 2.25. What Ray's evening becomes after 17 years, which is roughly $83,000. And 3 things you can do tonight that cost nothing and take 10 minutes. If that turns out to be worth your evening, consider subscribing. Only if it earns it. Back to the kitchen. 7:13. Ray puts the phone face down. He has not decided anything. He has decided not to decide. That is a real choice, and it has a real price, in dollars. To see the price, you first have to see the 2 jars. The $4,800 in savings has a name. Ray typed it himself, June. 11 days at the coast with his daughter. He has never missed a payment in. The $4,800 on the card has a name too. He did not choose it. A boiler, a dentist, and a rental car 2 summers ago. One pile is sacred. One pile is shameful. It is the same money. An economist named Richard Thaler named this in 1985. Mental accounting. You sort one pile of money into invisible envelopes. Then you obey the envelopes. Thaler won a Nobel Prize in 2017, partly for that idea. The envelopes are free to make. Keeping them is not free at all. Let me do that arithmetic in front of you. It is smaller than you expect, and worse. One small favor first, and it takes 4 seconds. Tell me the town you are sitting in right now. Just a word. I read every one, and knowing who is out there changes how I write these. Now the card. The Federal Reserve publishes the real average every quarter. In the second quarter of 2026, it was 22.15% on balances carrying interest. $4,800 at 22.15% is $1,063 leaving Ray this year. Not a fee. Rent. The sacred jar earns the FDIC national average, which in July 2026 was 0.38%. $4,800 at 0.38% is $18. $18 for the whole year. $1,063 out, $18 in. The wall between them costs $1,045 a year. That is $2.86 a day for an envelope that does not exist. Wall 2 is worse. 8:15. Ray opens the other app. This one he checks often. 2 years ago, he put $9,000 into one company he liked the sound of. Tonight, it is worth $5,580. Down 38% and down for months. He does what everyone does. He looks at it. He closes the app. If you asked him, Ray would say one sentence, and he would mean it. I am not selling at a loss, which sounds a great deal like patience. It is not. Selling does not create the loss. The loss already happened. Selling only writes it down. He is not protecting money. He is protecting a sentence. A paper from March 1979 explains exactly why, and it is the most cited in its field. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky published it in Econometrica. Prospect theory. It broke a very old assumption that a dollar gained and a dollar lost weigh the same. They do not. In the 1992 follow-up, the measured median coefficient was 2.25. A loss lands about 2.25 times as hard as the same gain. That is not a personality. It is standard equipment, and it is in me too. In 1998, Terence O'Dean measured what it does inside real trading accounts. Investors sold winners at a rate of 0.148 and losers at 0.098. Roughly 1.5 times more willing to sell a winner than a loser. Hold that. There is money on Ray's kitchen floor because of it, and I will show you exactly how much later. 9:30. Ray is on the sofa. A video starts playing. He did not choose it. 14 minutes about a company. A founder who slept in the workshop. A graph that goes up. One number the presenter says twice, slowly. By 9:52, Ray has moved $2,500 into it. He feels informed. He is not. Not one fact in 14 minutes changed what that company is worth. What changed is vividness. The story made the company easy to picture. In 2017, Robert Shiller gave the American Economic Association a lecture on this. His argument: economic stories spread through people like epidemics and move real money. Not stories about the economy. Stories that are the economy. Keep that. You need it at the very end of this video. Stop the tape at 9:52 and look at all three walls together. A jar he will not open. A position he will not close. A story he did not check. 3 rooms, 3 rules, and underneath, the same single move. Ray made no money decisions tonight. He made 3 feeling decisions. The jar stays shut because it protects a promise to his daughter. A feeling. The position stays open because it protects a sentence about himself. A feeling. The $2,500 moved because it protects the feeling of having understood something. Every wall is built to protect a feeling. Every wall is paid for in money. The measurable walls run $1,705 a year. Divide by 365. That is $4.67 a day. Call that the evening rate. Yours has a number too. Nobody ever looks at it. Here is the part that should actually bother you, and it is not the $4.67. Ray is careful. Ray reads the small print. Ray is not the careless one. Care built the walls. He labeled the jar because he cares about June. He held the loser because he cares about not being a man who panics. He watched all 14 minutes because he cares about doing his homework. Effort protected him from none of it. Effort is what laid the bricks. A writer named Morgan Housel made a version of that idea popular recently. It was not new. Kahneman published The Mechanism in 1979, and almost nobody read it. Before the fixes, there is something I want to say plainly. Nothing about tonight is a character flaw sitting inside Ray, or inside you. Kahneman and Tversky did not find that some people are bad with money. They found the machinery is built this way in everybody, including themselves. Kahneman said for the rest of his life that knowing it never fixed him. And nobody built these walls to trap you. No room exists where that was decided. This is not a conspiracy. It is incentives, and incentives behave like plain gravity. A business that sells a story is paid when the story spreads. True or not? Nobody has to be lying for that to cost you $2,500 on a Tuesday. A flaw you would have to fix. A gap you can simply close. 3 ways to close it. The first one costs a sheet of paper. Ray has a sister, Nora, 46. She is not the clever one. She carried a card balance beside a labeled savings jar for 6 years. In 2019, somebody handed her a sheet of paper and one instruction. Write every account you have in one column. All of them. Then total it. Not on a screen. Not in 4 apps. 1 column, 1 page, 1 total. Here is why something that trivial works. The walls only exist between screens. Once $4,800 and minus $4,800 sit on one line, the wall has nowhere to stand. Nora did not become disciplined. She deleted the place the wall lived. 10 minutes and a pen. Move 2 is 1 sentence long. Nora asks one question out loud before any hold or sell decision. If I had this money in cash right now, would I buy this today at this price? That is the whole test. Yes or no, said aloud, in the room. If the answer is yes, you are genuinely holding. Good. Carry on. If the answer is no, you are not holding. You are refusing to sell. It works because it deletes the purchase price from the question entirely. The $9,000 Ray paid is information about 2024. It says nothing about tonight. Prospect theory hangs the entire feeling on that old number. The test cuts it off. Nora answers yes more often than no. This is not a sell everything trick. Ray answers no. And the moment he does, $660 appears on the floor. Ray's paper loss is $3,420. The tax code has a plain rule about that. A realized net capital loss offsets up to $3,000 of ordinary income per year. The rest carries forward indefinitely. Ray's remaining $420 waits for next year. At a 22% marginal rate, and I am assuming that rate, $3,000 is worth $660. That $660 was on the floor the whole time. He stepped over it for months. There are edges. Buy the same thing back inside 30 days either side, disallowed. That is the wash sale window, 30 days before, 30 days after. I am describing a mechanism. I am not telling you what to do with your account. Wall 1, $1,045. Wall 2, $660. And the third move is about the sofa. If any of this is landing, tap the like button. It genuinely helps. Nora's third rule: any decision that arrived attached to a story waits one day. Not a week. Not forever. One evening to the next evening. Before she closes the laptop, she writes the story down in 2 lines. Then she reads those 2 lines the next night, cold, with no video attached. Schiller's point is that narratives behave like infections, and infections have a peak. 24 hours is usually enough to be on the far side of that peak. About half the time, she still buys the thing. That is the honest number. The other half, 2 lines look thin on paper, and $2,500 stays put. Now let me weaken 2 of my own claims, because both have soft edges. First, the 7% real return I use in a minute is an assumption. A long-run historical average. Not a promise, and certainly not a floor. Any given 17 years can land well under it. I would rather be accurate. Second, and this matters more, wall 1 is not always the wrong wall. For plenty of people, the label jar is the only reason money survives the month. If deleting the label empties the jar by Thursday, the wall is doing real work. The rule is not tear down every wall. The rule is know the rent on each. Ray's costs $2.86 a day and buys him nothing he could not otherwise have. That is a bad wall. Now the number I promised in the first minute. Ray is 41. Say he does this until 58. 17 years. Walls 1 and 2 cost $1,705 a year, and that money never gets invested. $1,705 a year, 17 years, 7% real. The annuity factor is 30.84. That is $52,583. From 2 invisible walls, in an evening that felt responsible. Sit with the shape of that number for a second. Nobody stole it. No fee took it. No crash took it. Nobody was even in the room. $52,583 walked out of a kitchen because 2 numbers sat on separate screens. And that figure contains not $1 of wall 3. Wall 3 has been the quiet one this entire video. In about a minute, it stops being quiet. Wall 3 is hard to price because it never sends anybody a bill. Morningstar tries anyway, in an annual study called Mind the Gap. They compare what funds returned against what fund investors actually got. The 2026 edition, 10 years to end of 2025, funds 9.9%, investors 8.7%. A gap of 1.2 percentage points a year, given up entirely to timing. Put $10,000 a year in for 17 years at 7%, $308,402. The same $10,000 a year at 5.8%, $277,254. The gap is $31,148. Honest caveat, that gap is measured on people who move money. Never move, never pay. Add it up. One evening, run for 17 years, is roughly $83,000. Which finally lets me answer the question from the first minute. Which of the 3 walls is the expensive one? Wall 3, the story wall. And not because $31,148 is bigger than $52,583. It is not. It is smaller. That was the trap in the question, and it is the trap in most money advice. Walls 1 and 2 have prices. A price is a thing you pay, once a year, forever. Wall 3 does not charge you anything. Wall 3 builds the other 2. Something told Ray the June jar was sacred. That something was a story. Something told him selling would make him a man who panics. Also a story. That is Schiller's real claim. Narratives do not sit still. They reproduce. The first 2 walls are bills. The third is the machine that prints them. Which is why the 24-hour rule is the cheapest of the 3 moves. It does not fix a price. It slows down the thing that sets prices. If you do one thing tonight, do the sheet of paper instead. Every account, 1 column, 1 total. 10 minutes. No app required. One thing plainly, every figure here is published, or arithmetic I did out loud. The 7% and the 22% are assumptions, and I said so both times. This is a place to understand a mechanism, never personal guidance for your situation. Now go back to the two $500 bills on the table from the very first picture. Same year, same mint, same table. They were always exactly the same money. Ray was the thing that changed, once in front of each one. He did not spend money to feel better tonight. He felt better. And money quietly settled the bill at $4.67 a day. The walls are free to build. Only keeping them ever costs anything.